from my heart and from my hand. Why don't people understand my intention?
Oh, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So the Grey Mini is now finished and it's ready to go off for its test. It's APK or it's MOT. Hopefully there are no surprises as it goes through that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed in the next few days. What I thought I'd do in the meantime is just post this video that is basically a review of the project for the last year. And now that we've finished this one, we can actually move on into 2021 to focus entirely on the electric Clubman. So thank you very much for all the support in the past year. It's really appreciated. Comments are fantastic, and really look forward to the coming year with a new project as well. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this video and have a good holiday, and look forward to sharing with you again in 2021. As you can see here, we found a 1996 1300i. Now it came with many parts, but it did not come with the engine. Around the window, seams, rain gutter, and there's some work to be done in the rear boot. Pieces preparing it to go to the body shop to have the welding done. As you can see, inside is now completely stripped out. We've got the panels in there ready to fit. So there are plenty of mini engines on eBay, but not so many automatics, and in particular 1275s, but we really got lucky and found this one in England. We've also made quite a lot of progress on the engine. If you recall, this is a 1275 automatic. We've upgraded. So we're left with a few choices, one of them being to completely abandon the project or to try and find a donor vehicle. We found a 1300i SPI single point injection donor vehicle. The engine's a good runner, and as I mentioned in a previous video, most of the problems with this car were actually the rear boot flow. As you can see here, it's going to need completely replacing. So I know what you're thinking, why go to all this trouble if the engine is actually going to be removed from this car and put into the other one?
Yeah, no, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. There you go.
And here's a gentle reminder to anybody that is thinking about restoring one of the injection minis. One side has a blank, the other side have a lever, and it always looked unfinished. Maybe it's my OCD, but I prefer to have both on either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and change this side into the bonnet release catch. So finally the paint shop dropped off the rear subframe so I can actually start working on this. I wanted as much adjustability as possible for the suspension, so we've got high and low risers on springs. And couldn't help myself, needed to see what the wheels look like on the subframes, so you have to use your imagination. So moving on from the timing cover and the new alternator, I did also spend some time rebuilding and cleaning the throttle body. So all the welding's done now?
Yeah. It was really a pain in the ass. It didn't fit.
We had three options at the time. One was to fix and repair the original roof. The other one would be to go for a lightweight carbon cap roof. Cost to this point. And if you recall from the beginning, I said I wanted to spend around about 10,000 euros, and that had to include a donor car as well as the shell has arrived. Okay, now we've got it in the workshop and on the stand, we can take a closer look. Vibration on the back, and then on top of the factory bitumen fitted an acoustic layer and a couple of dynamite. Looks like the theory of where this bar went on left-hand drives is correct. So subframe finally in. Had a couple of challenges because of all the cut-off switch is installed. Also the valves, the carbon canister, new engine harness is not going to be ready for a few weeks. There's quite a backlog auto. So we've got to strip this one down and replace it with a new cable. The plate that fits the manual or the automatic is exactly the same, and in fact this shell was originally a manual. So I've set the shifter to neutral and gone 2 clicks down on this before fastening down the cable. 2 heaters here both of them with different issues, but I think using the two I can probably make one functional one. So this stuff is blowing around inside the cabin. Good for your lungs. Okay, so that's all the ducting in place. We hit a major problem over the weekend when we were trying to install the fuel tank. They had kind of a putty that goes around the edge of this to seal it. Some people use double-sided foam tape. I'm going to use some silicone. And I've spent the last few evenings taking apart the main harness and rewrapping it with this mess of cables there as well. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to braid wrap all of the cables to protect them. So the roof now actually works the way it's supposed to do. I'm trying to separate these switches to make it a little easier for the switch. Okay, I just need to tuck the cables underneath the dashboard now, and then that job is done. Start this engine up for the first time since its rebuild in the next couple of days. Of prepping all the surfaces and making sure that there's some glue on the seams before we give this a shot. So I'm going to just cut this a little further up to allow the material to slide a little bit longer, and I'll do that on both.